Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Forrester, and this is People You Should Know. And today we're talking with LEXY Estes, who is the president and chairman of the board of HAEGER Potteries, the American art potteries. LEXY, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, it's great to be with you.
Now LEXY, the term American art potteries, what exactly does that mean?
Ceramic is a very versatile product. And when we were founded in 1871, the company was manufacturing brick and field tile. So take that to today, where we make everything from the vases you see around you, to the sculptures and figurines, to the bakeware that we make. That's all art. Mm-hmm. Clay is a magnificent, natural thing that comes from the earth.
Right.
And it binds together with some water and some different things that we use to make our special body, and it creates magic.
Now you have a huge facility out here in Dundee, Illinois. Is it open to the public?
The sales room is open, and we have some videos of the productions so people get an appreciation of how things are made downstairs.
Now LEXY, your dad, Joe Estes, was president of the potteries beginning in the 1930s. When did he turn the reins over to you?
Well, he turned the reins over to me at a tender age. In 1979, I was appointed president of the company, and then in 1984, I was elected to the board and ultimately became chairman of the board. It was fairly rare to have a woman president of a manufacturing company. Mm-hmm. Women were in a lot of other kinds of businesses at the time, but manufacturing was really still sort of an old boys' network. So I got a lot of coverage then, first woman in manufacturing in the Chicago area, that kind of thing. And I got lots of press, and it was fun.
So you've been president for over 35 years.
I have.
And what sort of changes in the industry have you seen since you first took over?
Many changes. The economy, of course, has a lot to do with every business. And as the economy shrinks and grows, we too have to find new ways to keep pottery in the forefront of the American consumer. Mm-hmm. Consequently, in good times, when people are more able to buy things, we can do accessories that enhance the home that maybe aren't quite as functional. They're just pretty to look at. Mm-hmm. In times where the economy is a little bit tougher, people want to have more home and hearth. And that's why we do the bakeware lines, because people want to come back to the kitchen and celebrate life eating good food, and we make a wonderful line that, I'll tell you, it bakes better than anything else on the market.
Is that right? Now, why is that?
Well, it has to do with our ceramic body, and we largely leave the inside unglazed, and so it crisps the outside for lasagnas and brownies and things of that kind, and yet it leaves the inside very moist because the product is heat distributing all the way through. Unlike glass or metal where you get hot spots, ceramic absorbs the heat in the oven and it distributes it evenly, so everything gets cooked evenly.
LEXY, the company dates back to the 1840s.
Correct.
What is it about HAEGER Potteries that has made it such an institution in the field?
Well, I think adaptability probably is the thing that largely has been very important for any business, actually. Mm-hmm. But for us, being what we call in the art world, brick and tile, of course, was extremely critical back in the 1800s for the farmers to drain their fields so that they could be more agriculturally productive. And of course, the brick for the building material was very critical because fires were rampant, as we know. Chicago fire in 1871, when my great-grandfather bought the existing company and then supplied millions and millions of bricks to Chicago to rebuild. From that point forward, when my grandfather took over in 1900, again, adaptability. We began to do simple flower pots, and then glazing became popular, and if you look through the museum, the myriad colors that we have are indicative of the kinds of tastes that are reflected throughout the many years that we've been in business. I do have to say that there are not many American potteries left. Most of them have gone to the Pacific Rim and other various areas in our world. But we are American made and American owned, and that's the way I plan to keep it.
I understand that there are a number of celebrity designers who have worked on projects for HAEGER. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Over the years, we've been very fortunate to attract a lot of different kinds of designers, from students to actual celebrities. Our chief designer is who I like to call our current celebrity, which he's been with us for many, many years, Kevin Bradley, and he does all the work that we do here now, and we do still have some contract designers. But to take you back a little bit, one of our incredible designers that put HAEGER on the map was Royal Hickman. And he came and challenged this company to do what had never been done in ceramic before, because he largely worked in glass and crystal, which is a very different medium from pottery. And we were wildly successful with his designs. He did things that were fantasy. You'd take a normal animal and fantasize it. I recall Mae West. You can see her in her feather boas, and he took feathers and made them something really special that people wanted in their homes. Another designer that comes to mind is Sasha Brostov, and this was in the early 70s. He was quite famous in Hollywood, and he came to us and did a line of metallic and bronze, very intricate ashtrays, of course, which we hardly produce anything like that anymore, but covered boxes and some fanciful vases and things that were highly decorative with bronze, and it was really quite something. So those are the kinds of things. Another man that comes to mind is Ben Seibel, and he helped in the, I think this was in the 80s, doing some early bakeware for us that gave us the sense that we knew how to begin to develop that line better and really increase that to where we are today.
Lexy, where can HAEGER Pottery's products be found throughout the country?
Well, it's a pretty broad spectrum these days, from JCPenney and Target to Lamps Plus, Crate and Barrel, Cracker Barrel. We do lots of contract work for people, private label kinds of things. And let's see, Walmart and Kmart and, well, you name it, we are in there. Big furniture stores, of course, love to accessorize with our product because we're fairly well priced and very colorful, so it enhances their furniture displays. And Lamps Plus is one of our customers for our lamps, and so it's a pretty good, diverse group of people.
Lexy, in your travels, have you ever run into anybody that's told you, hey, I've got some of your pottery in my home?
Oh yes, that happens all the time.
Does
I think
it?
when you've been in business for almost 145 years, you're going to
Bound to happen.
First of all, you look around here in Dundee and you see some of our brick that have built the churches and the schools and their homes all around this community. And then I do run into people who often say, oh, I know HAEGER pottery. My grandmother had some, and now it's in our attic, and I've got to get that out. And I love that piece. And then I have the wonderful experience of people saying, oh, I went through HAEGER pottery when I was a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, and we took a tour, and it was so fascinating. It's really remarkable when you've been in business this long, the numbers of people that are familiar with you.
And this coming up anniversary next year is how many years?
145 years.
145 years.
Currently, we're in a magazine called Art Deco, and because of our rich heritage of the Art Deco designs that really put us on the map, the Art Deco Society loves our products, and so we've been featured in their magazine quite a bit.
Lexy, how would you describe the average buyer of HAEGER Pottery's items?
I would say Middle America, people that want to enhance their home with color and style, but for not a lot of money. I mean, obviously you can get hand-thrown kinds of pieces, and they can be very pricey. So what we attempt to do is stay middle of the road to give the home beautiful color, beautiful style, and functionality. But I think too we are reaching out to more and more people, to younger and younger people, because of the bakeware that we now do. They are more interested in cooking at home and having the family around and so on, and I think that's a wonderful, healthy trend.
Lexy, where do you see HAEGER Potteries in the next 10 or 20 years?
But 10 to 20 years down the road, we've got to infuse new excitement and new blood into this company. We'll be hiring new managers and all kinds of people. So that's where we intend to go.
The challenge of the future.
That's right.
Well, Lexy, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you and reliving some of the memories here at HAEGER Potteries in Dundee.
I think we ought to add that you did work at HAEGER.
I worked at HAEGER Potteries right after I got out of high school. Worked in the lamp division. I was a chain stringer, and it was really one of the happiest work experiences I ever had.
That's terrific.
Nice bosses, nice people here at HAEGER Potteries, and that's for real. Again, I'm Jeff Forrester, and you've been watching People You Should Know. Thanks for joining us.